All right, so this next thing I want to talk about was actually sent into me by that Canadian guy, Mr. 537 Days Straight of Commenting himself. There's a supermarket chain up in Canada. Believe it or not, Canadians have to eat food too, and they own like 1,500 stores. That's a pretty big location. I feel like if somebody said they owned 5 grocery stores, I would be impressed. A corporation owning 1,500 is pretty sizable. The only problem is they ended up getting hacked in like their payroll, ordering food, customer checkouts. Everything got affected, and it's been a crap show. I just thought that was insane because, like, who hacks a grocery store? Out of every business you could hack, you're really gonna go for the people that sell milk? Inside the terminal at Sobeys-owned stores after their ransomware attack. And if it's pronounced Sobeys, too bad, I'm not Canadian. Ransomware has definitely been making its rounds. Like, I feel like at this point, if you're high up in an executive level at a company, you should just not open any emails on company servers that are not from, like, the company or someone you absolutely know. The fact that this all probably went down because, like, some 55-year-old clicked on an email they weren't supposed to and then clicked a link and logged in when they weren't supposed to is super embarrassing. All across Canada, there's like all these issues with the grocery store, all these issues being raised about food security, how people are gonna eat. Oh, because he just couldn't resist the 30% off coupon for like a new fishing rod or something. Employees of Empire Co., the parent company of Sobeys, have begun to speak out about the turmoil unfolding inside the grocery chain since a ransomware attack began plaguing the computer systems earlier this month. Workers from across the country say some stores have run short of items because orders cannot be placed, while at others, food had gone bad, initially either piled up or was frozen because there was no way to remove it from the inventory system. Pharmacies were unable to fill new prescriptions for a week, and customers can't redeem loyalty points or use gift cards, and staff were concerned that they wouldn't get paid because the payroll system is down. It's been a mess. That's the word. Oh, a mess, sorry. That's the word that can describe it best. Just a mess, said one employee who works in the front end at a Safeway in Western Canada. Yeah, that's a little bit of a mess. It's not even like your inventory, like little gun thing that you use to scan stuff in gets messed up so you can't order stuff anymore. On top of it, they just have piles of rotting food that have to sit there because there's no way for them to remove it. I'm sure that smells lovely. It's a beautiful Canadian winter day. There's 19 feet of snow around you. You just want to go to the grocery store and get some food. You walk in and get blasted with the smell of rotting eggs because Mr. Malware himself decided that nothing's getting taken out of the store. You're telling me there was no other way to do this? They couldn't have, like, written down all the things that got bad and their little codes on it? They had to keep it in the store for some reason? The prescription thing is terrifying, too. Like, imagine if you have medicine you have to take to stay alive. There's a lot of people out there that have to take their meds by a certain time. You go to get it from the place you always get it. Oh, yeah, our bad. We're not going to be able to do that for, like, a week, actually. I'm gonna die if I don't take my medicine for a week. And they're like, well, man, that's unfortunate. Shouldn't have clicked the ransomware. I didn't click the ransomware. Yeah, I know. It's just you have to live with the consequences now. I feel like corporate digital security is a space that if you want to make a bunch of money and you're in school, start going into that now. All these companies keep getting hacked. They don't really seem like they have a good way to prevent it. So whoever comes up with like a real good cybersecurity policy and can actually help companies like this is going to be rolling around in a bed of money. So anyone watching this who's like a computer guru, just think about it. I'm just saying, I'm too dumb to go do it. But if you're smart enough to go do it, you could make an absolute crap ton of money. What makes more sense? A company to pay you like $500,000 a year to keep everything safe, or getting hacked every year for $5 million? I'm not a mathematician, but one of these just seems a lot cheaper than the other one. Employees were told not to log in, unplug certain digital scales, and not to use the scanning equipment that allows them to track their inventory. Without the computer systems and handheld scanners called Telcon, whatever, guns, stores have not been able to place orders, so in some cases, they've ran out of certain items. Oh no, we're out of diapers. After the first day or so of the outage, warehouses began to send products to stores based on what they had available and estimates of what they may need. I feel like digital inventories just make so much more sense for a grocery store. Why order 50 more boxes of chips if you've only sold 10? The fact that like they were just sending what they thought the store might need is probably why there's now piles of food that has gone bad, because like, yeah, believe it or not, it's important to be able to tell how much you've sold of an item before you order more. Especially because imagine you're a customer. You usually do your grocery shopping here, but you go in, you can't get your prescription, you can't really use your credit card, you can't get like anything weighed because all their digital scales are down, the shelves are empty. Are you going to come back like that Friday for groceries, or are you probably going to wait till this is all over? So I highly doubt they're like selling the same amount of stuff they're used to selling. Just because if half the store doesn't work, it's not like customers are going to be lining up around the block like, oh, please just take my money. I would love it. I love an inferior experience with the smell of rotting food hitting my nostril. Imagine if like you're a very unfortunate person where this is the only grocery store you can get to, and for the past week it just hasn't been working. Employees in the chain are paid every other week, and some were told last week that they would not get paid Thursday, their scheduled payday. However, workers later told the CBC that the company found a workaround. Since the first week of the 2-week pay period occurred before the ransomware attack, employees would receive the same amount of pay for the second week, even if they did not work the same amount of hours, and each employee also received an extra $100 on Thursday to compensate for any hours they may have worked the second week. Once the payroll system is functioning again, any worker who was overpaid will be expected to return overpayments. See, that's just like way too stressful of a situation for like working at one of these stores, I feel. Oh, we might not be able to pay you this week. Actually, we're going to give you a bunch of money, but keep track of it because if we gave you too much, you have to give it all back. Like, I get it. Obviously, they don't want to give out more money, but it's not exactly the employee's fault that one of your corporate executives decided to click a link they shouldn't have clicked. Oh, if you guys don't become accountants and people that work at our grocery stores and figure out how much we should have paid you so that way you can return over payments, then you guys are in trouble. And before they figured out the workaround, like, did you expect people to keep showing up to work? I'm gonna be honest, if I ever had a job like this again, I worked at a grocery store when I was in high school, and they told me that they weren't gonna be able to pay me for like another week, I'd probably just go get another job. I feel like I'm not messing around and not getting paid for a job that's such little fun, you know? Like working at a grocery store is not something glamorous you do because you have a passion for it. It's because you need money. I just feel like corporations this size getting hacked is insane. Hopefully everything works out. Just felt like you guys should know that what's going on, I guess.